Please welcome Sir Anthony Hopkins. Good to see you. Really is. They're happy to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Nice to meet you.
It's been 3 years we've been trying to get you. Well, longer, but the last 3 years we've nearly got you, and you kept slipping out of the net.
Yeah.
Now, according to one of the newspapers I read yesterday, you are currently in Mexico and you're giving up acting. Which one of those is correct?
Who said I was giving up acting?
It was in the Express. It said that you are currently today in Mexico.
I'm going to Mexico, yeah.
You're going to do a movie
on Thursday. I'm doing Zorro with Antonio Banderas. And retiring? No. No, I'm not going to retire.
No, well, this is...
Where said that?
I don't know.
Never believe what you read in the British newspapers.
Well, I'm very pleased you're here tonight because you could be sitting tonight.
I like the tie.
You like the tie?
Can't,
well, at the end of the show, you know, maybe you can have this. All right?
That's nice.
Yeah. You could be right now sitting on a beach overlooking the Pacific because you have a home in California.
That's right, yes.
So we're delighted you're here. It's a long way from Glamorgan.
That's right, yes. It's, the weather's a little better, but it's nice to be back in England. I have a house in Los Angeles, and it's beautiful.
You love America, don't you?
I love it.
I mean, a lot of people say, oh, they give us the stuff about, oh, it's fine for a little while, we'll get out of there.
No, I like it. Well, it's always good to get back here. I mean, I love it back here. And I actually like the winters here. The only thing I miss in Los Angeles is the season, sort of seasonal change. But it's a beautiful place. I love the climate, and I love travelling. And I love
You've seen enough of the country. I read you get in a car. Is this right that you get in a car?
I get in the car and
put down.
That's right.
And you drive and drive and
thousands of miles. I did Texas in a day.
Texas?
Yeah, I did Texas in a day. I remember, because I have a map with me, but what I do is I stop in motels. And,
but just your ordinary no-star motel?
Just ordinary motel, yeah. I get some funny looks from people sometimes and say, what are you doing here in Yakima or wherever I am? But anyway, I remember getting up in pretty early in the morning in Oklahoma City and getting on the freeway, and I was going to head across for Tennessee. And I saw these these signposts, you know, these road directions, and suddenly it said Dallas. And I thought, I was nearly killed actually crossing in front of a truck. So I thought I'll head down to Dallas this morning. It took me 13.5 hours, I remember. I cut right through, and I went down to Baton Rouge. Went right through Texas. And,
are you saying you just followed your nose then?
Yeah, I do.
Follow the signs, see a sign, I'll go there.
That's right. I live freely. Spontaneously, they call it.
I'm
not going to retire, no.
No. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen a picture in one of the magazines.
Yeah.
You're sitting in that car, and you just got sort of a very casual shirt. And
that's right.
I mean...
It's Vanity Fair.
That's right, it was the magazine.
That's right.
That's what I was reading. In fact, I've been doing a lot of reading about you.
Oh, good.
Why do you
was it interesting reading?
It was very interesting. Why do you do it? Why do you get in the car? Why do you do that? What do you get out of that?
Well, I have a great zest for life and fun, and sometimes acting gets a bit, you know, I enjoy acting very much. I have a lot of fun with it. But in between jobs, in between films, I like to take off, because I'm very restless. And I like to go to different states, different towns, different cities. And it's always a kind of an adventure. I usually spend one night in one motel, and then next day so I never really know where I'm going. Oh. Last year I went down to Texas, and it was so flat. I thought, this is very boring. I think I'll go back up, and I went up to Seattle, which is about 4,000 miles or 3,000 miles. Just like that. So I turned left. Shall I have that? Thank you very much.
See, that's what you've had a sensational success with your career. I mean, you won Oscars, you've got a knighthood, and yeah, I reckon you could have been a comic. I think you're a frustrated comedian.
I admire comics more than I do. I saw you on the Morecambe and Wise show last week. They're my favourites: Morecambe and Wise, Tommy Cooper, Les Dawson, and you know, and I saw you on the.
Oh, I was mentioned a couple of times. On Morecambe and Wise.
You were in the firing squad. Do you remember that? You were on the firing squad?
I do.
Yeah.
I remember the Duke of Edinburgh once saying to me at Lord Tavern's do, he said, "You're the chap who's always on Morecambe and Wise." And I said, "Well, I'm not always on it. I get mentioned." And he said, "Oh yes. Are you really that bad?" Listen, where did this love of comedy come from? Did it? I'm told it started with your dad. Your dad was a bit of a character.
Well, my father was a very basic, down-to-earth man. He I didn't like the airs and graces of actors, which I don't like either. But I remember when I was a little kid, he used to always be very worried about me because I was so stupid at school, and I was a plain idiot at school. And the only talents I had was to play the piano and write or draw and things like that. My father was a baker, and he worked hard all his life. And he was very, very basic. You know, he never really got carried away with anything very much. And when I was in the theatre, he would say, oh yeah, you know, he said, make plenty of money, be like Richard Burton, he'd say. But I remember once I was playing the piano, and I was playing Beethoven. I was a pretentious young kid, you know, playing the Beethoven Pathetique Sonata. My father came in from the bakehouse. He said, what the hell are you playing? I said, Beethoven. He said, no wonder you went bloody deaf. For God's sake, get out. Get out and do something with your life, he said. And that has stayed with me all my life. My father reduced everything to its reality, to its bare bones. And that's my life.
I'm told I should ask you about the impression. Well, you just did a Tommy Cooper.
Oh, it's like that. I went to the doctor. I said, get up on the table. I said, what for? He said, I want to sweep up. You like Tommy Cooper? He's my favourite. I said there the other night with my wife. Like that. No, it's like that, was. And she was there like that. No, she's like that. And I said, I'm feeling homesick. She said, but you are at home. I know, I'm sick of it. You laugh. You do have a laugh. What about these? You've got apparently a very good repertoire of voices. People like. Whatever they said, ask him about a conversation between Laurence Olivier, John Gielgud, and Ralph Richardson. Can you remember any of that nonsense? Oh yeah. Oh, for God's sake, shut up, Larry. So. Always going on about your ambition and your career. I had the most brilliant career. I think you chaps take it awfully seriously. I wasn't going to do my impersonation. Richard Burton.
Richard Burton.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, Elizabeth.
Where did all this love of... I mean, somehow you were playing piano and then suddenly you said, no, I want to act.
Yeah.
So when did that hit your mind? This from the... I should imagine going to the cinema or something when you were a kid.
That's right. I went to the movies. I saw Bogart movies and James Cagney, all those things during the war years and after the war. I'm that old. And what happened? That's right, I was so useless at school. I was probably dyslexic or slow. I was just stupid, I think. And I had no inclination of what anyone was talking about. I used to sit at the back of the class like this. I was a complete idiot. You know, I wouldn't play, couldn't play sport, couldn't play rugby, couldn't play, which is terrible for a Welshman, couldn't play rugby. So about the age of 17, I joined the YMCA in Port Talbot, and I just ended up one night in a play. I walked into this rehearsal, and this man said, "Do you want a part?" So he gave me a part of a saint. It was an Easter play. And I ended up with one line. And as I stood up there thinking, this is not bad. It's better than working for a living. So that's why I became an actor. The funny thing is, it's been 40-odd years now. I've never felt I've belonged in the acting profession. I always feel like a glorious amateur. I've never actually, there are many better actors than myself who are technically superb and all. I've just been very, very lucky. And but what I am glad about, in a way, because I was pretty ill-versed in acting, the technique. I don't like talking about it very much. But what I've maintained, I hope, is a sense of fun about it. Yeah. And not to take it too seriously, because it's not comparable to the art of brain surgery, after all. It's only acting, you know.
When you were... When you were... You like the tie? You love it? No, you can have it. Just a little.
Sorry, thank you very much.
When you were...
I have another Tommy Cooper. Go on, go on. I went to the doctor.
You got another one?
I went to the doctor.
Go for it, go for it.
I went to the doctor. And I said, I've broken my arm in 3 places. He said, don't go there anymore.
One of the lasting memories for many people, I'm sure, thinking about you on screen, would be Hannibal Lecter. But for me, And I don't know why. For me, one of the scenes that always stays... One of the scenes that always stays in my mind is
I based him on Tommy Cooper, you know.
Pardon?
I based him on Tommy Cooper.
Did you?
I ate his liver with fava beans and nice caddy. Yeah, it did. Didn't it show?
Pardon?
You could see the influence of Tommy Cooper.
Oh, definitely, yes. How did you get that little thing with the teeth?
Like that.
I still remember you. Don't ask why. I still remember you in the jacuzzi with Bo Derek. Do you remember that film?
No.
It was. It was a film called Change of Scene.
My wife remembers that.
But I want to know, man to man, just chaps talking. You know, you were in there, and it looked like. I mean, were you wearing your gym jams?
Yes, I was. Yes,
you were wearing your gym jams.
Yeah.
You don't remember much about that day?
I don't remember.
You need a holiday.
I was in morphine. She was very nice, actually.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I was going to ask you in a serious vein, but you've given a comedic answer. You know, there was how much of you of input into Hannibal Lecter, the character? I mean, and what did you think when someone puts that on your desk as a script? Were you shocked at first, or did you know the story?
Well, I read it and I thought, well, this is a wonderful script, and I thought if they really want me to do it, I'm going to have a go at it. And I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I loved working with Jodie Foster. And I sensed that it was going to be successful from when I read the script. And somebody said, you know, are you sure you want to do this? I said, yeah, of course I am. And I hear there's a sequel.
I was going to ask, because they let him walk away at the end.
I hear this year.
Will you do that?
If it's a good script, yeah. Why not?
Why not? You should sit this close and get it.
The story is that Hannibal Lecter becomes a vegetarian.
This is the scene.
And Clarice and I get married and live on beans.
Are you the kind of actor that takes the character home? Because you wouldn't want to take him home, would you?
Every night. No. No, I never take anything home, except the props. No, I don't. As soon as the day's over, or even after the take on, you know, is it coffee or lunch? That's it. Acting is pretending. That's all it is. It's people say, well, how did you play in The Remains of the Day? You were so contained.
You're very...
Yeah, I was very simple. I don't move very much, that's all. It's quite easy. Acting it's that easy.
Is it that easy?
Yeah, well, yeah. They said, how do you play a butler? Well, it's just a good evening, sir. What more? A fool can do it. A child can do it. Say, well, thank you very much, sir. So how do you play a serial killer? Well, the thing about playing Hannibal Lecter is not to play him nuts. Play him very, very sane. Let the audience do the work. So when I see Clarice, I say, good morning, Clarice. So the audience is doing all the work for me.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it.
Isn't it? It's very, back there.
That's right.
Some of the characters you play, I think they could describe as fearsome. We've had Nixon and now Picasso, which I saw surviving Picasso. It's wonderful. It's strange sitting next to you, Anthony, and seeing the fun and the buzz of you.
Yeah.
These characters you play, some of them got a dark side, and over the years you've had your bad times. You've actually come out and been honest about it and brave enough to say it, and probably helped a few people along the way by saying it. Having had those bad times, the booze and all that stuff, has that helped you when you face one of these?
Oh yeah, I mean I feel perfectly normal. I guess I am. I hope so. But no, I had a couple of bad times, but it wasn't that awful. I wouldn't have missed it. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes it got very bad, and in the end I thought, well, this is killing me, so I better give up and stop now. But it was that. But I wouldn't have missed it because it's a part of my past. And but I've never had it so good. I'm living the best life I've ever known.
Have you put to rest some of that inner turmoil over the years? You found some peace of mind.
Yeah.
That comes with success, obviously, is it? Achieving what you set out to do.
Yeah, well, for example, when I got Silence of the Lambs, I knew that it was going to change things for me. And I thought, well, what's the point of worrying? You know, just take it easy. And as time goes by, you know, you get things a little more easily. I don't say I'm, you know, Mr. Calm all the time, because when I'm working on a film, I work very hard, you know, to get the thing right. But I try and keep it very, very light.
Keep getting it right. Keep getting it light. And keep coming back here.
It's been wonderful.
Anthony Hopkins.